Hello, awesome people. I'm glad and excited to be in today's class. I believe you're equally excited too. You're highly welcome. We are going to have a great time learning together. Sit tight, grab your biros, grab your jotters. It will be fun all the way. You're highly welcome, good people. Thank you. Okay, you're highly welcome to today's class. My name is Enobong Ekarika. It will be a very engaging and interesting class, and I believe you're set for us to have good time learning together. Today's topic is discover your worth. Stop seeking external approval. There are lots of people whose life has been who are not enjoying the best of life simply because they have refused to maximize their worth. They refuse to recognize their worth. They choose to depend on external approval. But today we are going to look at in detail discovering your worth and how you can stop seeking external approval. Thank you so much as we look forward to a very engaging class. Please make it very engaging. Ask questions, contribute, and bring your friends. Invite others. Call your friends. This class is a must-have for every one of us. You're highly welcome, good people. All right, so in today's transformative class, okay, I'll guide you through a journey to understand your true worth. Okay, you'll be able to learn how to recognize your inherent value without relying on others' approval. You're going to learn how to break free from external validation. You're going to discover strategies to stop seeking validation from others and start living authentically. In today's class, you will learn how to build unshakable confidence. That is, by developing that inner strength to stand firm in your worth, regardless of external options. Regardless of external opinions, external options. Whether you're struggling with self-doubt or people pleasing, or you're just ready to step into your power, this webinar is for you. You're highly welcome. You're highly welcome. Don't miss out on this opportunity to transform your mindset and reclaim your confidence. You're welcome, good people. You're highly welcome. So before we start, let's take up our mantra again. I believe you know our mantra, the uncommon man. The uncommon man. So let's take it together. Let's remind ourselves that we are uncommon. It's very important that we remind ourselves that we are uncommon. We are the best. We are outstanding. There is no to us. So let's take this mantra together. And this mantra is from the book Common Sense, written by Thomas Paine. It was written in the year 1776 for us uncommon people. So for being an uncommon man, Let's take this together. Let's repeat it together. I do not choose to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon. If I can, I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to barter incentive for a dole. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will not trade freedom for beneficence, nor my dignity for a handout. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any trait. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to think and act for myself, to enjoy the benefits of my creations, and to face the world boldly and say, this, with God's help, I have done. Fantastic. I believe you had said this, and it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. So before we get to our topic once again, let's take the last part together again. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to think and act for myself, to enjoy the benefits of my creations, and to face the world boldly and say, this, with God's help, I have done. Please give yourself a clap, give yourself a clap, give yourself a clap, or give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a hug. You are truly an uncommon man. So let's go back to our topic for today. Our topic for today, once again, is discover your worth. Stop seeking approval, external approval. Stop seeking external approval. So let's take it together. I believe you're set. You are set. Now, let's go there. From this, you can see my name is Enobong Ekarika once again. You can reach me via email enobongekarika1@gmail.com, and please, you can connect with us through our YouTube channel, Enobong Ekarika. Please get to our channel, watch the videos, learn from it, like and subscribe, invite a friend, and share good people. Share good people. You're highly welcome. Now, this is the content of today's class. We'll introduce the topic, introduce myself too. We'll talk about understanding self-worth, the trap of external approval, breaking free from external validation, building unshakable confidence, real life stories. Then we'll give room for interactive question and answer sessions. We'll also do the conclusion and takeaways, call to action. Call to action. So thank you for having me, good people. My name is Enobong Ekarika. Once again, I'm a seasoned coach and a motivational speaker with 10 years of experience in personal development. I specialize in helping individuals break free from self-doubt to build confidence and discover their true worth. I have worked with many individuals and organizations to perform at their best. My mission in life and in handling this course is empowering individuals to embrace their worth. I am committed to guiding people to understand and embrace their intrinsic value. I'm passionate about helping others to live authentically, free from the need for external validation. And I believe that you deserve to live a life where you feel worthy, confident, and fulfilled. Remember, I believe that you deserve to live a life where you feel worthy, where you feel confident, and where you feel as fulfilled. You can do it. So that's me, Enobong Ekarika, and I'm very happy to have you with us. Thank you so much. Now let's go. Let's look at this interesting quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. It says, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Absolutely true. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. That's the more reason. And one of the ways we give consent to that person trying to make you feel inferior is when we seek validation, when we believe in external validation, to define who we are and what we can do. Now, let's start. What do we mean by self-worth? What do we mean by self-worth? Self-worth is that belief, okay, that you are fundamentally valuable, that you deserve love and you deserve respect regardless of external factors. Let's take it again. What is self-worth? Self-worth is that belief that you're fundamentally valuable and deserving of love and respect regardless of external factors. That means also people, you're fundamentally valuable, you're fundamentally deserving of love and respect regardless of whether you're a male or you're a female, you're a teacher, you're a bricklayer, you're a cleaner, you're a student, you're a child, you're an adult. You deserve love. You deserve to be treated with value, and you deserve respect regardless of whether you have money in your pocket or no money in your pocket. I believe you are having value. Now, let's talk about what do we mean by inherent value and conditional worth. What is inherent value and conditional worth? What do we mean by in that? Now, what makes inherent value? Inherent value means that your worth as a person is natural and unchanging. Is that idea that you're valuable simply because you exist. Okay, you don't have to do anything special or meet any criteria to be worthy. Your value isn't tied to your achievements and how much money you have, how you look, or what others think of you. It's like the way a diamond is valuable, just because it's a diamond. Its value doesn't change based on whether it's found or what it looks like. For example, think about how you see a baby. You don't think, that the baby has to do something amazing to be valuable. The baby is loved and cherished just for being itself. In the same way, your worth is inherent. Okay? You don't need to earn it. It's already yours. Now, what do you mean by conditional worth? Conditional worth is that belief that your value depends on meeting certain needs, meeting certain conditions, meeting certain standards. It's the idea that you're only worthy, if you achieve certain goals, look a certain way, or get approval from others. This kind of thinking can make you feel like you're constantly having to prove yourself to be valuable. For instance, you might feel like you're only worthy if you have a high paying job, or you get good grades in your exams, or if people praise you. But the problem with conditional worth is that it's unstable. And if you fail to meet these conditions, what happens? You might start to feel like you're not good enough. So imagine if you only feel valuable when you receive compliments or when you are successful. So what now happen on days when you don't get praise? What happen on days when you make a mistake? What happen on days when you don't meet up that particular standard? You will start doubting your worth. And this kind of worth is like a roller coaster, constantly going up and down depending on what's happening around you. So good people, inherent value is steady and secure because it doesn't depend on anything outside of you. It's about accepting yourself as you are and knowing that you're worthy, you're valuable no matter what. Conditional worth can lead to a lot of stress and self-doubt because it's based on things that can change or things you can't control. I hope you are having value, good people. This is it. We said inherent value is steady and secure. Please, let's read this together. Because it doesn't depend on anything outside of it. It's about accepting yourself as you are and knowing that you're worthy no matter what. That means let us take advantage of our inherent value. Know that you're good enough. You're fantastic. You're simply the best. You are an uncommon man. You're welcome. You're welcome. Now let's go to the next slide. This is a quote by Stephanie Perkins. He says, the more you know who you are and what you want, the less you let things upset you. Absolutely. The more you know your inherent value, the less you allow things and people and situations to upset you. Very true, good people. Very true. So take advantage. Don't forget you're worthy, you're valuable, you deserve respect, you deserve love, and you are simply the best. Tell yourself every day, I am simply the best. There is no to me. There is no to Enobong. There is no to Peter. There's no to Rita. There's no to James. There's no to John. You are unique and you're simply the best. Now, why does self-worth matter? Why does self-worth matter? We are going to look at the impact of self-worth on relationships, impact on your career, and impact on your overall well-being. That means your self-worth can affect your overall well-being, it will affect your career, and it will affect your relationships. Please, let's hold on. All right, so now let's look at it. How does it affect our relationships? Number one is healthy relationship. When you have good self-worth, you'll be able to build healthy relationships, because when you have a healthy and a strong sense of self-worth, you enter relationships with a solid foundation. You don't rely on others to make you feel valuable, which allows you to build relationship based on what? Mutual respect and love. You're more likely to set healthy boundaries and communicate your needs clearly, which strengthens your connections with others. And then you will be able to avoid toxic relationships. On the other hand, if your self-worth is low, you might find yourself in relationships where you're constantly seeking approval or validation. This can lead to unhealthy dynamics. How? Where you feel unappreciated, you feel taken advantage of, or even mistreated. Without self-worth, good people, you might stay in relationships that aren't good for you because you don't believe you deserve better. Are we having value? Are we having value, good people? All right, now let's look at impact. Let's look at impact on our career. Let's look at impact of self-worth on our career. Number one is that it will help you have confidence in your abilities. A strong sense of self-worth gives you confidence to do what? To pursue opportunities that align with your skills and your passions. You're more likely to take on challenges, seek promotions, or start a new venture simply because you believe in your own abilities. This confidence will also help you to set and maintain professional boundaries, ensuring that you're treated with respect in the workplace. Now, let's look at another impact on why self-worth matters on your career. It will help you to handle criticisms and setbacks. In your career, good people, you will face criticisms, you will face setbacks, but when you value yourself, you can take constructive criticism in stride, without letting it shake your confidence. You understand that mistakes and failures don't define your worth, so you're more resilient and capable of bouncing back. Let's see another impact. Negotiating for yourself. You'll be able to negotiate for yourself. Now, people with high self-worth are more likely to advocate for themselves. Whether it's asking for an increment in salary, or you're negotiating work situations, or you're pursuing a job that truly fits your values, you know your worth and you are not afraid to assert your worth in professional settings. Now, what's the impact on your overall well-being? It affects your mental and emotional health. It reduces stress and anxiety, and it enables you to build resilience and coping abilities. You'll be able to build great coping abilities. So what's the takeaway on this? Self-worth is a foundation of a happy, fulfilling life. It influences how you interact with others. It influences how you handle life's ups and downs. When you know your worth, you're more likely to build strong relationships. You're more likely to succeed in your career. You're more likely to maintain your overall well-being. Good people is not about being perfect. It's about recognizing that you are valuable just as you are. Let's quickly look at some misconceptions, some common misconceptions about self-worth. These are some common misconceptions about self-worth. Some common misconceptions about self-worth. We look at self-worth versus self-esteem, the myth of perfectionism, others' opinion define your worth. Other misconception is success equals self-worth. These are some misconceptions we are going to look at. When we say self-worth versus self-esteem Self-worth is that deep, unshakable belief that you're valuable as a person no matter what. It's about knowing your worth doesn't change based on what you do, how you look, or what others think of you. It's like the solid foundation of a house, strong and stable, even when the weather or life gets tough. Now, self-esteem, on the other hand, is more about how you feel about yourself in the moment. Your self-esteem can go up and down depending on your achievements, depending on your failures or feedbacks you get from others. For example, you might feel good about yourself after getting a promotion. That is high self-esteem. But if you make a mistake at work, your self-esteem might drop. That means while self-esteem is important, it's not as constant as self-worth. And the misconception here is that many people confuse self-esteem with self-worth, thinking that their value as a person is tied to their successes or how they feel at a given time. But good people, self-worth is more deeper and doesn't waver even when things don't go your way. Now, the myth of perfectionism. Some people believe that they could just be perfect, okay? They would finally feel that if they could just be perfect, they would finally feel worthy. But in reality, trying to tie your self-worth to perfection only leads to disappointment and self-criticism. True self-worth comes from accepting yourself as you are, imperfections and all. Now, let's look at misconception about when people say success equals self-worth. Now, it's an easy trap to fall in, thinking that you need to be successful to be worthy. However, true self-worth is independent of your achievements. It's about recognizing your value as a human being, not as a collection of accomplishments. Are we having value? Please put in the chat box value. I'm having value. Now, let's look at another common misconception. Others' opinion define your worth. Now, it's a common misconception that you need others to do what? To validate your worth. But in truth, you are only the one who can determine your value. Learning to trust and validate yourself is key to building a strong sense of self-worth. So, good people, understanding these misconceptions is crucial. Why is it? Because they can lead you to undervalue yourself. And by recognizing and challenging this false belief, you can start to build a more accurate and empowering sense of self-worth, one that is based on who you are and not on external factors. Now, let's quickly look at perfectionism. The myth of perfectionism. Perfectionism is that belief that you must do everything flawlessly to be considered good enough. Is that idea that there's no room for mistakes, that anything less than perfect is a failure. Perfectionists often set themselves, they set extremely high standards for themselves and feel immense pressure to do what? To meet them. And this mindset can affect many areas of life, from their work to school to relationships and to personal goals. Now, let's see how perfectionism affects our self-worth. You will notice that a perfectionist might feel that getting a 99% on a test is a failure because it's not 100%. Or they might spend hours revising a project that's already good just because they are afraid it's not perfect. Now, how does perfectionism affect self-worth? Number one is tying your worth to flawlessness. Perfectionism tricks you into believing that your worth depends on being perfect. That if you achieve perfection, you might feel good about yourself, but it's always temporary, good people. The problem is that perfection is impossible to maintain. So even the smallest mistake can make you feel like a failure. Over time, this can lead to chronic self-doubt and constant feeling of inadequacy. Let's look at fear of failure. Perfectionism often causes a paralyzing fear of failure, and when you feel that anything less than perfect is unacceptable, you might avoid taking risks or trying new things. It will also lead to procrastination where you take off tasks, put off tasks simply because you're worried you won't be able to do them perfectly. Another thing is that perfectionism will always make you never feel good enough. You never feel good enough. You always dismiss your accomplishments, thinking I could have done better. Though you will always have this constant dissatisfaction, which will always erode your self-esteem because you feel you can always do better. These are how perfectionism affects you. How do we break free from perfectionism? What is a trap? How does perfectionism trap us? How does perfectionism trap us? Let's quickly look at the trap of perfectionism. Number one is exhaustion and burnout. You will always feel exhausted. You will always, being perfect, perfectionism can be mentally and physically exhausting. That means constantly striving for perfection requires enormous effort, and over time it can lead to burnout. You might feel overwhelmed by that pressure you put on yourself, which will lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression. Another trap that you fall into when you are a perfectionist is strained relationships. Perfectionism doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your relationships. You might have unrealistic expectations of others, which can create tension and conflict. Additionally, if you're always focused on being perfect, you might miss out on genuine connection with others because you're too preoccupied with maintaining a flawless image. Now, how do we break free from perfectionism? Number one, embrace imperfection. Number two, focus on progress, not perfection. Number three, practice self-compassion. Embrace imperfection. Just know that as long as you are alive, as long as you're a human being, you will make mistakes. Accept that imperfection is a natural and inevitable part of life, that no one is perfect, and that is okay. No one is perfect, and that is okay. By embracing your flaws and mistakes, you can begin to see them as opportunities for growth rather than the reflections of your worth. Focus on progress, not perfection. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on making progress. Celebrate small wins and recognize your effort. Celebrate milestones. Celebrate achievements, your small wins. Then be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, especially when things don't go as planned. Treat yourself with the same compassion and understanding that you would offer a friend. I believe you are having value. I believe you are having value. Now let's take this quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. To be yourself in a world that is trying to make you into something else is the greatest accomplishment. Now let's get to the next slide. The trap of external approval. Why do people seek external approval, and why is it a trap? Why do people seek external approval, and why is it a trap? The trap of seeking external approval, can lead to a life where you're constantly chasing other people's expectations at the expense of your own happiness and well-being. Now, recognizing these signs and understanding the cause of this behavior is the first step towards breaking free and reclaiming your authenticity and peace of mind. So why do we seek external validation? Why do people seek external validation? Number one is societal pressures and conditioning. We are often taught to value other people's opinion and conform to societal standards of success, of beauty, and behavior. This conditional can make us believe that our worth is dependent on external approval. Another one is fear of rejection and judgment. Fear of rejection and judgment. Now, as social beings, we have this natural desire to belong and to be accepted. The fear of being judged, criticized, or rejected can drive us to seek validation from others and to avoid feelings of exclusion and inadequacy. Another one is desire for acceptance and belonging, uncertainty and self-doubt, influence of social media and comparison, past experience and conditioning. Now, what do you mean by that? Social media amplifies the need for external validation by constantly exposing us to other people's curated lives. And the pressure to keep up with or outshine others can lead to a constant search for likes, for comments, and approval from peers. And then how does our past experience affect us and conditioning? Past experiences, such as being praised for certain behaviors or criticized for others, can condition us to seek validation as a way of gaining approval, for or to avoid negative feedback. This learned behavior can continue into adulthood, influencing our need for external validation. Let's look at signs that you're relying on external validation. These are signs that you're relying on external validation. Number one is when you're overthinking other people's opinion. When you overthink other people's opinion, it shows that you're relying on external approval. Two is difficulty making decisions independently. As an adult, you should be able to make decisions independently. When you have difficulties making decisions independently, it shows that you're relying on external approval. Another one is frequent people-pleasing behaviors. That's another sign that you're relying on external approval. Another one is feeling unworthy without validation. That if someone doesn't tell you you're fantastic, you're beautiful, you're great, you're uncommon, you feel unworthy, is a sign that you're relying on external approval. Constantly seeking reassurance is another sign that you're seeking external approval. Another sign is avoiding conflict to gain approval. When you're someone that tends to avoid conflict just so you can gain approval, is another sign that you're relying on external approval. Social media dependence is another sign. Another one is feeling anxious about being judged. That's another sign. And then difficulty accepting compliments. These are signs that you are relying on external approval. When someone praises you, those that have difficulty accepting compliments, when someone praises you, you often downplay or dismiss the compliment, believing you don't deserve it. That is very, very wrong. Now, another one is adapting to identity. Adapting your identity just to fit in. You see people changing their opinions, their interests, or behaviors to align with what they think others expect or approve of. This will make them to lose touch with their true self. I believe you've seen signs that shows that you're relying on external approval. Now let's look at the next point, the cost of seeking approval. When you seek approval, external approval, it is costly. It will lead you to the following. You will lose authenticity. You see that you are compromising your true self to fit in or to please others, which will lead to a disconnection from your genuine identity and values. It will lead to increased stress and anxiety, because this constant pressure to meet other people's expectation, it will create that overwhelming stress and anxiety, which will affect your mental health and well-being. There's the fear of rejection. You'll experience burnout and exhaustion. You will experience difficulty building genuine relationships. You will experience impaired decision making. And there will be this inability. We have more here. Inability to embrace mistakes. There will be, you experience chronic dissatisfaction. Okay, and neglecting, you see yourself neglecting your personal needs, and then loss of personal goals. These are costs of seeking external validation, external approval. This is it. Loss of personal goals. That focus on other people's expectation can cause you to lose sight of your own goals and aspirations, which will lead to a sense of unfulfillment and regret. Now let's get to the next slide. I hope we are having value. Are we having value? Let's take these quotes together by Wayne Dyer. What I believe we have all read this quote by Wayne Dyer. It says, self-worth comes from one thing, thinking that you are worthy. Self-worth comes from thinking that you are worthy. Now, let's get to the meat of the matter. Breaking free from external validation. Discovering your worth. Breaking free from external validation, discovering your worth. We are going to look at practical steps to stop seeking approval. This is the meat of the matter. This is the cocoa. Okay? Number one, breaking free from external validation requires a mindset shift and practical steps to reclaim your self-worth. By recognizing your intrinsic value, embracing imperfection, and setting boundaries, you can cultivate a more authentic and fulfilling life, which is grounded in your self-value rather than the opinion of others. So let's look at practical steps to stop seeking approval. Number one is what? Set personal boundaries. Set personal boundaries. Define your limit and communicate them clearly to others. Learn to say no when necessary to protect your time and energy. Affirm your values and priorities. Number two, identify what truly matters to you and align your decisions and actions with your core values. We now say reduce your social media dependence. Reduce your social media dependence. The next one is what? Practice self-reflection. Engage in activities you enjoy. Seek internal validation. And also challenge approval-seeking behaviors. Practice mindfulness. Practice mindfulness. What do you mean by that? Reduce social media dependence. Limit your time on social media platforms, that trigger comparisons or feeling of inadequacy. Consider taking breaks and actually focus on real life situation, real life experiences. Say practice self-reflection. Regularly take time to reflect on your thoughts. Okay, reflect on your feelings. Journaling can also help you understand your motivation and reinforce your self-worth. Engage in activities you enjoy. Spend your time doing things you enjoy. Seek internal validation. Focus on recognizing and appreciating your own achievements and qualities instead of relying on external praise. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Surround yourself with positive people. Build relationship with individuals who value and support your true self, rather than those that seem to reinforce the need for approval. Challenge approval-seeking behaviors. Identify situations, where you seek approval and consciously choose to act differently. For example, voice your opinions confidently, even if you feel they differ from others. Practice mindfulness. What do you mean by that? Use mindfulness techniques to become more aware of your thoughts and feelings. This can help you recognize when you're seeking validation and redirect your focus. The next one, develop self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness. Be kind to yourself, especially during moments of self-doubt. Understand that everyone experiences challenges and imperfection. Let's go to our next slide. I believe we are getting value learning how to break free from external validation. This is very interesting. Now, building unshakable confidence. What are the ways to build unshakable confidence? Number one, self-reflection and awareness. Cultivating a positive inner dialogue. Having gratitude journaling is very important. Journal the good things you're enjoying. I can read, I can see, I can eat, I'm healthy. Those are wonderful things. Journal them. Mindfulness and meditation practices are very key to help you build unshakable confidence. Set achievable goals. Don't set unrealistic goals. Set realistic goals, good people. Challenge negative thoughts. Challenge negative thoughts. Engage in self-care and learn new skills. These are ways you can build unshakable confidence. Building unshakable confidence requires a lot of things like we've talked about, self-reflection, positive habits, supportive relationships. And by developing inner confidence, practicing this gratitude and mindfulness and surrounding yourself with encouraging individuals, you can actually strengthen your self-worth and embrace your authentic self with confidence. I hope you are having value. Now let's look at daily habits to strengthen our self-worth. What are the daily habits we should have to strengthen our self-worth? Number one is gratitude journaling. Two, positive affirmations. Three, mindfulness meditations. Four, engage in physical activities. Set small daily goals. Limit negative media consumption. Reflect on your achievements. Engage in creative outlets. Engage in creative outlet. Write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for each day to shift your focus to positive aspects of your life. Start your day by reciting positive affirmations that reinforce your self-worth and capabilities, just like we did in today's class, affirming that we are uncommon, the uncommon man. That is a positive affirmation. Mindfulness meditation, physical activity, incorporate regular exercises into your routine. It will help to boost your mood and promote a sense of accomplishment. Engage in creative outlets. Participate in creative activities, that express your individuality, whether it's art, whether it's writing, whether it's music, or any hobby you enjoy. I believe you are having value. This is a very wonderful quote. It says, "You're very powerful provided you know how powerful you are," by Yogi Bhajan. You are very powerful provided you know how powerful you are. I want you to reflect on this very quote, good people. Reflect on this quote at least for 1 minute. You're very powerful provided you know how powerful you are. This is so true. This should be a daily reminder to us. Now, what's the importance of a positive environment? A positive environment will always enhance your self-esteem. It will promote your mental well-being. It will encourage growth and development. It strengthens relationships and increases motivation and productivity. A positive environment will also reduce negative influences on you. It will help to facilitate constructive feedback and help to cultivate that sense of purpose and encourages authenticity and also promote overall well-being. It promotes overall well-being. How does that happen? How does it promote overall well-being? A positive environment contributes to physical health as well, because as reduced stress levels and enhanced mental well-being can lead to better physical health outcomes such as improved immune function, and it will lower your blood pressure. Let's go to our next slide. How do you identify and connect with like-minded individuals? Because to discover your worth, one of the things you need to do is to be able to identify and connect with like-minded individuals. We are going to give you 10 ways you can identify and connect with like-minded individuals. Number one, identify your values and interests. Redirect your passion, interests, and core values. Understanding what matters to you will help you seek out others who share similar beliefs and pursuits. Join clubs or groups. Look for local clubs, organizations, or community groups that align with your interests, such as book clubs, hobby groups, professional associations. Okay? Attend workshops and events. Attending this will attract like-minded individuals eager to learn and connect. Utilize social media and online communities. Volunteer for causes you care about. Get involved in volunteer work or community service related to causes that you're passionate about, and this can help you connect with others who share your commitment to making a difference. Network through professional association, join professional associations or industry related groups that align with your career goals. Take classes or courses, enroll in classes or workshops that interest you, whether it's a cooking class, is an art workshop, a professional development course. These settings will always provide opportunities to meet like-minded individuals, participate in meetup groups, engage in community activities, be open and approachable. When interacting with new people, be open and approachable. Show genuine interest in others by asking questions and actively listening. Being friendly and inviting can encourage connections with like-minded individuals. Then follow up and nurture connections. After meeting someone you resonate with, take that initiative to follow up. Invite them for coffee, join them in an activity, or simply stay in touch through social media or nurture that connection over time. Let's quickly look at some real life scenarios and how to do that. But before then, let's take this quote by Stacy Carter. He says, "Don't rely on someone else for your happiness and self-worth. Only you can be responsible for that. If you can't love and respect yourself, no one else will be able to make that happen." Don't rely on someone else for your happiness and self-worth. Only you can be responsible for that. If you can't love and respect yourself, no one else will be able to make that happen. I believe you are having value. I believe you are having value. Let's look at some real life situations, some case studies. Let's look at Sarah. Sarah's journey to self-acceptance, Mark's transformation through mindfulness, and Emily's empowering journey. Let's look at this. Sarah is a young professional who constantly sought approval from her colleagues and friends. She would often change her opinions and actions to fit in. This leads to feelings of frustration and unfulfillment. Now, what was the turning point for Sarah? After attending a personal development workshop, just like you are attending this webinar, Sarah began to recognize her inherent worth. She started practicing self-compassion and she embraced her imperfections. And what was the outcome? Sarah gradually stopped seeking external validation. She started allowing herself to express her true self. This shift improved her self-confidence and led to a more authentic relationships, both personally and professionally. Let's read the case study about Mark and Emily's empowering journey. Let's quickly talk about case study 3. Emily, who is a talented artist, struggled with self-doubt and often sought validation from her peers and critics. She hesitated to share her work for fear of negative feedback. But what was the turning point for Emily? Emily decided to participate in a local art exhibit. This challenged her to showcase her work without seeking approval. She focused on expressing her creativity for herself rather than for validation. And let me tell you the outcome. The positive response to her art empowered Emily to embrace her unique style. This experience reinforced her self-worth and led her to pursue her passion more wholeheartedly. This can happen to you. It has happened to me. It can happen to you. Now, let's take these questions. These are interactive session, question and answer session. Someone says, how can I stop seeking approval from others without feeling guilty or selfish? Please put the answer in the chat box. Put the answer in the chat box. Question number 2 is, I often feel anxious when I don't receive validation from others. How can I manage this anxiety? Question number 3, how do I deal with negative self-talk that undermines my self-worth? And question number 4, how can I stay motivated to build my self-worth and not fall back into old patterns of seeking approval? Please put the answers in the chat box. Put the answers in the chat box. I want to see your answers in the chat box. Let's take the music break while you put down your answers in the chat box. Your answers are dropping. Your answers, keep sending down your answers. I would have answered this, but I don't want to. I will not. I want it as an assignment because we have discussed it extensively in today's class. We've discussed this extensively in today's class. I believe you all had value. I believe we learned a lot. Now let's take this quote. The most powerful relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself. That is a quote by Steve Maraboli. The most powerful relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself. I believe we have learned a lot. I believe we've got enough maximum value today. I look forward to having you more in our classes. Looking forward to seeing you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Looking forward to seeing you communicate with us. We can train your organization. We can consult. We can coach for you. Let's quickly look at the key takeaways in today's class. We've talked about the importance of self-worth. Recognizing and embracing your intrinsic value is very crucial for personal growth and well-being. Self-worth impacts various aspects of life, including relationships, career, and mental health. We also looked at, in today's class, the dangers of seeking external approval. We looked at that too. And we also looked at strategies to build inner confidence. I encourage you, good people, remember that the journey towards recognizing your self-worth is ongoing and is unique to each individual. Embrace your imperfections, celebrate your achievements, and take small steps every day to reinforce your confidence. Start implementing the strategies we've discussed today and be gentle with yourself as you navigate this journey. Surround yourself with positive influences. Engage in activities that bring you joy, and don't hesitate to seek support when needed. Believe in your value. You are inherently valuable, and your worth is not dependent on external opinions. Embrace your authenticity, good people, and take pride in your unique qualities. So empower yourself to break free from that need for external approval. Empower yourself to break free from that need, and build that strong foundation of self-worth. Your journey towards self-acceptance and confidence begins today. Thank you for participating, and I wish you all the very best on your path to recognizing your true worth. You're highly appreciated. We look forward to having you in our subsequent classes, and we know you will sure have great value. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, good people. Do have a blessed day. Bye bye for now.